Hi guys, getting close to building season and we've already got the walls built for our house, but problem's going to be putting them up, so I think this is how we're probably going to do it. So I have an engine lift here, and I think we'll do a couple of modifications to it to make it possible to lift up the walls, create some kind of a lift bar for it that can be attached to the walls, and we'll see if that works for getting them upright and set in place without falling off the edge of the floor. First issue we're going to have is that these legs have to be moved back behind the lift point, so I think what we can do is change the location of where the bolt holds these legs on and then move that back a few inches. Okay, I've got an improvised plumb bob weight down here. I just pull that off the ground. I've pushed these legs back in about 6 inches on both sides, and that's about where it hits and bottoms out on a bolt in the assembly here, so that's about as far as it'll go. But that does give me about 2 inches of clearance up to these legs, which I think I'm going to go ahead and use. One thing I need to point out about this, if you're lifting anything outside of these front wheels, you've created kind of a dangerous situation. These wheels should extend out past the center of your load, so I'm kind of doing something you should not do, but I understand how a first-class lever works. We're going to be working with a first-class lever, so obviously this is going to be the fulcrum point with one of the loads out here, and then the back of the machine going this way is going to be the load on the other end of it. So what I need to do is calculate how much of a load I've got on this side of the lever and how much of a load I got on that side of the lever. So I don't want to guess at this. I'm going to go ahead and weigh the back end of the hoist, and we'll find out how much of a load is on the back side of this thing. Got a package scale here. It looks like we got close to 110 pounds on the back of this, and there is the capability of adding more onto it if I think I have to. Okay, now I'm going to find out how much distance I got from the front fulcrum to the back where I measured the load, and that comes out to about 53 inches, it looks like. So I got about 2 inches of clearance, but then I'm going to have to add on to it to get to the center of the wall for the center of mass on it. Looks like we're going to go about 4.5 inches. That would put it to the middle of the wall. So if I use that 4.5 measurement and divide it into the 53, it gives me about 11.7 to 1 ratio between this side of the lever and this side of the lever. So with the 110 pounds out in the back, I'm good for almost 1,300 pounds out here on the front and at the 4.5 inch center, so that should be plenty to lift up a 200 pound side assembly without the thing toppling over. One of our last components for the wall lifter is this crossbar. It's made out of a piece of a pallet rack cross member and a couple of generic brackets. And I'm going to TIG weld it on because this metal's pretty thin right here. Okay, so here's the lifting bar, and we've got holes on each end. They'll screw into the studs for lifting the wall. And add this lift ring into the middle of this lift bar. And this ring's big enough to go on our engine hoist hook. And it's also rated for 400 pounds working load, so that's about double of what we need for lifting our walls. Okay, so we'll be able to hook this onto the engine lift. And then this can be attached to a side assembly and lift them upright and hold them in place until we get some fasteners and bracing put into them. Looks like that will work pretty good. Well, our sides have been packaged away in tarps and plastic here all winter, so it's time to see how they endured the weather. And we're going to see if this contraption that we've created will work. Gonna help, huh? I was going to build a stand, but I can just disconnect the hoist from here and then put our soft shackle around the scaffolding and lean the wall up against that temporarily. And this is our lifting fixture that I made up earlier, so we'll just screw that onto the wall in the middle, and then we can lift that with the hoist and stand the wall upright.